Hola, ¿qué tal, peloteros? Estamos muy emocionados de tener aquí en nuestro estudio a invitados estelares. Por aquel lado tenemos a mi amigo Randal Arms, que ya ha estado con nosotros en varias ocasiones. Pero también tenemos aquí a dos de los nuevos caballones que van a ir empujando por el béisbol mexicano. So, guys, I would like to introduce yourself to all the people that is watching the video. And then we will have a minute with my friend Randy, who is going to introduce what is this tournament you are playing about. Okay?
My name is Xavier Beltran, and I play pitcher, third base, and catcher.
My name is Tomas Sanchez. I'm a pitcher and a third baseman for the Otay Ranch High School. Yeah.
And I'm Randy. Yeah, I'm their coach. So corny, but no, these are my pitchers. I've been training them for the last couple weeks, and I was asked to train them, and I really liked the idea because I like to coach, and so I took on the responsibility, and I'm glad I did because these two guys won 2 games for me now, so we're on a roll here. But by the way, I'm an international baseball coach. I travel the world teaching baseball to a lot of countries in the Middle East and Pakistan. I'm on the Pakistan Federation. I've been with them probably for 4 years now. I've worked with Italy and a few other countries. And also, I'm coaching with Pakistan in the World Baseball Classic qualifier.
Oh. We had a good speech, but I would like to ask the guys: Is him a good coach?
No, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Honestly, yes, he is. He taught me a lot of things I never knew. He's helped me with my mechanics a lot more. Because normally when I would pitch, my arm would start to hurt after a little while, but he's helped me to achieve for my arm not to hurt after I pitch. So I think he's helped me a lot personally. I think he's a good coach.
He has helped me a lot on my mechanics, but not just physically. He has helped me mentally to just stay focused in the game and stay calm. Because sometimes I get really frustrated and I stop throwing good, but he's helped me kept my calm and shit like that. So yeah, he deals with me a lot. So
Well,
I'm really
as
thankful.
long as you keep pitching good, I'll be good to you.
Yeah.
No, I saw your mojo, like the way you changed when you were on the field, and for me it was something new because I have never been with a white American guy on the field. I was with a photographer, recording all the images that we can watch right now. But I got surprised because you really changed. It's like you think Mexican coaches are not like that? They are way different than white American coaches, or you see something different between Randy or?
Yeah, I saw something different. Like he's calm. Like he has more patience, and he's someone you can really talk about. Like if you're not really feeling well, because sometimes with some coaches I don't really feel like I can express myself and be true. So with him, I can literally tell him everything. You know, like I can really trust him.
I think.
owe you?
I really think there's a big difference between a Mexican coach and a white coach, because most of the Mexican coaches are very strict. They want you to hustle off and on the field. He does the same thing, but he's more calming. He helps you mentally, and this with a Mexican pitching coach, it's more like, let's say you're not in the zone, just hit the zone. Just he doesn't explain much. And with Randal Arms here, he helps us. He explains more, and not as other coaches, they don't really explain much.
Yeah, I got that, but you belong to the old school. I remember when I grew up, watching the Yankees right here, and I used to attend the ballpark, and the manager was a white American guy, and my father said to me, he must be a white American guy because otherwise, if he's Mexican, he will be always joking around with the players and getting, just telling jokes or whatever. You grew up in both baseballs, Mexican and American. You see that there is any difference right now that, well, I mean, can we make a comparison right now with what my father said 20 years ago and right now, like American managers are still like that, and Mexican managers are like doing the same?
Yeah, well, with me, I like to joke around, but there's a time to joke and there's a time to be serious. Okay, when we're off the field, we'll joke around, but when I get on that field, I get very serious. And I want things done the right way. I want the sport played the right way. Okay, and if you don't, that happy guy is not there no more. And we're going to have a serious talk about it. Okay, and I had to do it in one game in this tournament to one of the pitchers. I felt bad, but I have to do it. We're here to win. Okay, and we want to have fun. We'll have it off the field. I don't have a problem with that. But when you get on that field, it becomes a business. And these guys got a future, okay? And I'm here to help them with that future. And they're very fortunate because I have many doorways for the young guys. And I know that. And so I want to be able to help them succeed. But they got to act like professionals. And if they don't, and I understand they're young, they're learning. And that's why I'll be a little lenient sometimes on them. And we'll sit down and we'll have a talk about it. And I have with these guys. And says, hey, this is how we got to go about this. All right? This is what your future is going to consist of. All right? And if you want to be a professional, you got to act like a professional. And one of the things is to be able to be a professional, you got to master your sport. Okay? And I talked to him about this. I haven't talked to this guy yet about the master, but we all understand what master is. But realistically, we don't completely understand it. We understand the word. We understand the meaning to a certain level. But if you really want to be a master and you master that sport, you'll realize you didn't know what a master was until you mastered it. Okay, does that make any sense? And so that's what my goal is to a good pitcher, a good player, is help them mentally, physically, to become a master of the sport. And that's how they're going to make it to the pros. Hey, there's okay. That's not going to work. There's good. That's not going to work. Actually, there's even excellent. That's not going to work. But you act like a master in your sport, you got it.
And, well, I saw you guys last night, and they all look like professionals. Like when you see professional ball players when they are warming up and during the game, their face change. There is something they are taking that very serious. And when I saw you guys and when I saw Randy, I was like, wow, they are playing ball, but real professional.
Well,
baseball, yeah,
We practiced that before
Yeah,
we came, correct?
yeah. But that's very good to see in our guys right now. But for you guys, you are very young. You are 15, you are 13, and I believe that you've been playing baseball at least 8, 7 years, 10 years, something like that. But how was it, or what happened to you when you realized that, oh, I can become a professional? I'm still dreaming to be a professional, and what changed in the particular way to act on the field? Because when you are a child, you just play ball, you are always like happy and that, and it doesn't mean you're not happy playing baseball, but I say that you take very serious. How it comes to your minds to take that serious and show it on the field?
I think when I realized I can become a professional ball player, or I can make it more than a normal ball player, it was when I started playing travel ball. That's when I started to learn that it's not always to joke around, and sometimes it's just when it's serious. When it's a joke, it's a joke. And to play like there's never going to be another game in your life, play like it's going to be the last, and to be aggressive on and off the field, run off, run in, and to try to reach the next level there is.
To me, baseball was when I started playing when I was 3 years old. It was like when I started playing baseball, it was like when my life started. Like there's goods and bads, and you can be happy, mad, or sad, which is like it's just life. So it's how I do it. That's how I cooperate. I just try to do my best all the time. The same like in school and everything. And yeah, baseball's been a really good part of my life, so that's when I realized that I could like do more and be a professional.
Future coach here, by the way. And I mean that. This guy, he's totally paying attention. He's helped me out a lot actually in this tournament. He's gone out. He's listened to everything I said. He's done everything I said, and he took that, not just learning it. He took it with him and went out and helped the younger kids and taught them the same thing, what to do in the bullpen, how to do it. Everything I taught him to do, he passed it on to the younger guys, and that was a big help. And I started realizing that this guy is a future coach. And also our head coach, I realized today, I told him that, and he told me the same thing that he told you also, the same thing. So obviously, but let's stay with your baseball first and get you in there, and then we'll work on the coach part later in life, okay?
And that's very special for me that the three of you are born on the border, because you perfectly know American baseball, Mexican baseball, and what do you think the way that we develop ball players in Mexico? What's your perspective about that? Because for you, I think I don't say it's easier, because become a professional and have the dream is always tough. But you go to high school, junior high school, then to college, and after that you sign for a professional player. But here, after high school or maybe junior high school, they are involved with the academies and the staff, and sometimes they have to quit very, very young, the school and the studies and everything. What's your perspective about what you see in Mexico about the development of ball players?
I think Mexican and American baseball is two different things, because Mexican baseball, for me, I think it's way more aggressive. Teach you how to play ball more aggressive. Like, let's say, if you think you can reach a ball, just dive for it, see if you catch it, and just make a good throw. And American baseball is just more calm, I think less aggressive than Mexican baseball, because I've seen a lot of Major League professional Mexican players. They play way more different and way more different styles of baseball that you really don't see today. And I think Mexican baseball, they teach you a lot more different than American baseball, because the time I've been learning American baseball, it's way more different and way more calm for me. Me personally, I like to play Mexican aggressive baseball. I like to dive. I like to get myself dirty. Like, if I don't get home dirty, I didn't play good. Yeah. So like, like last night I came home, mud all over my hands.
Oh, yeah.
I looked like if I was playing dirt, like the whole game.
Dirt? I thought you were in a mud tub.
Yeah. It was one of a game. I love playing like that. I don't care how dirty I get home. All I know is I put my heart out there on the field.
Yeah, because you don't have to wash your own clothes.
So for me, so I played in Mexico for about 10 years, or 9 years, and then I started playing over there because I was invited. So so I do know the difference, but not really. So what I learned, so what I learned in Mexico was the same thing, be aggressive and all. But when I go play over there, I try to do the same thing. Try to bring a little bit of Mexico with me to the United States. Yeah.
Well, for me, American baseball and Mexican baseball, again, I agree, it's different. Mexico has got something to prove, so I think that's why they're more aggressive. And so with that, their coaches want to get their players into the U.S. and the Major League Baseball, so they have to be more aggressive with them. That could be a good thing. It's actually a really good thing. The one thing I like, I'm going to change the subject a little bit. One thing I like about Mexican baseball is the fans. Man, they're way more active than Americans, man. Especially after a few of those cervezas. But that's cool. I like to see that. I like to hear the people get involved, and getting rowdy, and both sides are fighting each other, and we're down to the nitty gritty, man. Almost into a fight, almost. It gets so hyper. But with that, it's cool. It's a good entertainment. Then back to the seriousness. Mexican baseball players. I have a lot of American baseball players that want to come to Mexico and train here because of that aggressiveness, and they're not getting it quite enough in the U.S. I don't know if that's good or bad yet. I'm still working on that one, figuring that out.
And did something change with you now that you are on the journey to become professionals as a fans? because we are talking about Mexican baseball fans. That I see you with the San Diego Padres jersey. Do you support the Tijuana Toros too, or you don't watch Mexican baseball? Or how's the way you live the baseball as a fan, still as a fans?
Well, me personally, I like watching American baseball and Mexican baseball. Me personally, I like to watch them. I learn new things each time I watch a new game, like in Mexican baseball. I remember when third baseman, I forgot his name, for the Toros, he retired a little while ago. I love watching him play. He was very aggressive on the third base line. One of the best batters I've ever seen. Very good contact. He rarely striked out. And look at Elliot De La Cruz from the Reds. Very great player. He has all the skills he needs. Tall, runs, bats, both side batter. It's great. I like supporting the game because I love it. And it's really, really cool to know that one of these days I can be on one of those fields playing. And for kids watching me play and having my jersey, it's a dream for me.
Otra. What was the question again?
¿Cómo vives el béisbol como fanático ahora que estás en tu camino profesional?
So, as a fan, so I've always been a fan of the Toros, and when I was a kid, my dream was to play for the Toros, and then after that, I started watching American baseball, and then I saw there was more, and then I started like investigating like Japan, Italy, so that's my dream, to just try to play in any league and just prove what I can do and show everyone what I can do.
Yeah, I'm a #1 Toro fan. Actually, that's true. They actually gave me a certificate for that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and they also wrote an article in a newspaper in San Diego about it also. So that was pretty cool. And then also I got to throw out the first pitch about 3 weeks ago. So that was very honored for me to throw the first pitch out for the Toros. I back up a little bit in my history. The Toros Stadium, Chevron Stadium, was built about the time I was playing as a young man. And we won a tournament down in Mexicali, and we got to play in that stadium. And it was 3 years old at the time. There was no parking lots or no even houses around there at the time. But when I walked into that stadium and I saw that thing, I fell in love with it. And I says, man, I want to play here. And I got to pitch in the game there, and we won. And I left for like 40 years, never went back. And I met my wife, and we started dating, and she decided she wanted to live in Mexico, not to U.S., and gave me an ultimatum to get a divorce or stay with her. Well, I didn't want a divorce, so I moved to Mexico, to Tijuana. And it was the best thing I've done. And I'm happy I did it. I wish I'd done it sooner. And one day she says, hey, you want to go watch a pro game? They have pro baseball here? And I'm like, yeah, let's go. So we come up and driving up into that hill. We're coming up on that top and coming in there. And I'm just like, I remember this place. And she goes, yeah, you told me many stories about it. That's why I wanted to bring you. So it was really cool. And I went into that stadium. But you got to remember, that stadium was brand new when I went in there. 40 years later, it wasn't brand new no more. But in my head, it still was. And when I saw it, I was really depressed and bummed to see the condition it was in. But then the next season, my wife says, hey, you want to get season tickets? And I said, yeah, man, let's go, behind home plate. And when I went back, Uribe is the owner, and he spent a ton of money on it, fixed it all up like brand new again. And I was like so happy to see that stadium. And that was probably 8-9 years ago, and I've been going to every game almost since then. The last year has been a little hard because I travel around the world teaching baseball, and that pulls me away. But my wife loves baseball. I taught her everything about it, and she soaked it up like a sponge, and now she's my baseball assistant. She's my encyclopedia baseball person. I can ask her anything about the Toros, and she can answer me in a heartbeat. And so she probably is more really the #1 fan for the Toros than me, because she'll go to every game, even without me. Sometimes I get jealous. But, yeah. But I like the Toros, and I hope they stick around for a long time.
Now the main point here, like you came here for a showcase, and we haven't talked about it yet. What's the feeling of being there, like 13, 15, and you already know, you are very young, and you already know that you can be one of the stars, all stars that kids and all the people root for? What's the feeling of being in a showcase and say, hey, wow, they are looking at me, look at my talent, and I can make it. How you feel? You feel like home.
I I feel like my dream can finally come true if I can show them what I actually got and what I can actually do. I think I can finally show them, and it's a great feeling. Like I love to play each time. Like these past days, they've been the best days of my life. Just showing them what I can do, and it's been great. It's been really great.
You're doing a real good job of it, bro. I'm proud of you guys.
I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was really nervous, just to like even think what they would like say about me if I did something wrong.
Yeah.
But then, when I was in that mountain the first game, that I realized like why I was doing that, like why I wanted to play baseball, and it was because of my parents and make them proud. So when I was in that mound every single inning, I was thinking about them, and it cleared my head all the time. And yeah.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about this tournament. Okay. When I was asked to come to do this tournament, they were talking about it, and I did some investigation on it, and I really liked the idea. And another thing is, I got to come here and see my amigo, and that was cool. So it was a bonus. But the tournament is a good spot for these young guys because I knew there would be scouts there. Actually, some of them are my friends. So I sent them messages, and they said, yeah, they would be there. So I knew I better work really hard with these guys. And so they came out. We had a Yankee scout today there. We've had a Blue Jays last night and a couple other ones I didn't quite recognize. And but that shows that these young guys, there's people out there watching them. And that's a good thing from Major League Baseball. And that's what we're here for. We're here to show them what we got. And these guys are doing a great job. And this guy almost had a no hitter today, man. And to me, is that your first time actually pitching?
It's been barely. I started pitching a year ago. No one really taught me. Just one coach. I went to the national in Mazatlan. We came back champions, and we went to the World Series. And in that World Series, I was in the same process of throwing a no-hitter the full game.
Wow.
But a little Texas just went over the second baseman, and well, it's baseball. But it's only been like around 1-2 years of me pitching. I've been self-taught, and Randal Arms here is helping me out and become better pitcher.
Thank you.
And let's dream a little bit. You know, let's think that we are like, I don't know, maybe 12 years in the future. What will be your biggest dream, you guys, as a ball players? What wish can you reach, or what is the biggest motivation and dream, and you say, wow, that's what I want to get as a ball player if I can become an all-star or whatever?
I was actually talking about this with Randal Arms in the morning when we started playing. I think one of the goals for me is when I make it pro is to make it to the World Baseball Classic or to be in the Hall of Fame like Big Papi. He's been a very big inspiration for me, and to make my process keep going and going to become a better ball player. But for me, it's I think the World Baseball Classic to have the Mexico hat for myself and with my name in the jersey, and to be in that Hall of Fame with the other great players there is in the world.
Beltran? Actually, I know Beltran. He was in the World Baseball Classic with us. Yeah, he was right there with our team.
So to me, in 12 years, it will be just win an MVP or win a World Series, get a ring. But mostly it will be like you said, like have little kids, like looking at little kids, like be inspiring to them, like see them with your jerseys, like even being excited by seeing you asking for your firm and everything for a signature. It would be amazing. That would be my dream.
So that's something new that I can see with Randy. I'm not old enough to say that I'm the same age. Just kidding. But
It's okay, bro.
no, just kidding. But if we ask before, like the dream of any player will be just talking about the World Series, Major League. But now I see a new generation and a generation that cares also about international baseball as a player, and they say, "Whoa, yes, playing at the World Baseball Classic, you rep what? You want to rep Mexico or you want to rep the U.S.?"
Me personally, I would love to rep the country that I've been in for most of my life. I think I would love to rep Mexico, the state that helped me play and become the ball player I am today. And especially with the travel ball I've been in right now, his name is Select. He's helped me a lot more to become more aggressive. That team has taught me a lot and to become more aggressive and helped me out a lot too.
I will play for the Mexican team. I was born over there, but I was raised in Mexico, and I feel like it would be like really cool because I will feel like more like familiar to the place and not just the U.S. Because my family's from here. Most of my friends are from here, so yeah, it would be really cool to represent Mexico.
They come to the last question without me asking, so I have to figure out something else. Yeah, that's very interesting about the new perspective, as I said, because still like the veterans of the game, the very very old veterans, they don't agree with the tournament. They say that it's a waste of time for baseball, for the teams and whatever. But we have an expert about international baseball. So you think that the tournament is, we say always yes, but why you think the tournament, even if we have them here that they are saying that they are dreaming playing with Mexico, do you think this is helping to grow the game worldwide? Why do you think the tournament is that important?
Well, a lot of people aren't paying attention right now, but it's growing fast. And we also, it's been worldwide, we've been building women baseball, and it's taken off really fast. International, we're going to have more and more international tournaments, and we've got a few starting in Mexico. We have a lot in the U.S. starting up. My theory is that we have more and more ball players that should be professionals, but there's not spots for them. So the World Classic is trying to organize to get these professionals to be able to keep playing. So we created an international league, and we have a new league starting up in Dubai. I think we talked about before. It's called Baseball United, and it's the last frontier in this world of baseball. And I'm very fortunate. I got hired on to be a pitching coach for it at the very beginning, and I think it all came because of my Pakistan background and Italy. I have a really extensive international, and I saw writing on the wall a few years ago, and I followed that writing, and I'm glad I did. And I get to be part of history, and I love that because I'm like an ambassador to baseball. And I've been told that I'm the unofficial ambassador. The official ambassador, by the way, is the president of Mexico. So interesting. So I'm trying to go for his position.
We just have 2 more questions left, and that's most for the guys. What would you like to do instead of baseball? I mean, the journey is long. You still can change your mind, like, of course you love baseball, but we're always changing. And in case you say, okay, I decide not to be a professional ball player, what else, what would you like to do? Like, there is any other passion you have, any other job or work or whatever you would like to do?
Me personally, if I don't become a professional baseball player, I think I would get a master's degree in become a doctor, or either play a different sport. In middle school, I just started playing flag football. I fell in love with the sport too, and I really like playing other sports. I love to play basketball, football, any other sport. I think I would get into a different kind of sport and try that too.
I'll be, instead of baseball, I will be an architect. I'm not pretty sure what type of architect, but as a sport, it would be American football, cause I'm kind of like a little bit big, and I tried playing it once, and it was pretty cool. Like I like how they're always like really like aggressive, and they're always like thinking like really fast. So yeah, I really like that.
Now, we come for the last question. We got to the last question, and it's for the three of you. You guys very young, still growing, and still whatever we have saying the same in the whole program. But you're already in contact with retired or already professional ball players. What's the difference that you see with the former ball players or actual ball players and you guys that are growing? What's the difference that you say, well, I feel baseball in this way, veterans feel in that way, or we play in this way, they used to play in that way, or they play in this way? What's the difference with the new generation of ball players that are coming with the one already have and the veterans and former players?
Me personally, I really don't think there's a big difference because most of the players like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he's learned from his father. I think he's become a very good player. Look at Fernando Tatis Jr. He's learned from his father. I think the veterans teach the younger ones to become more aggressive than they'll ever be, or let's say more aggressive than they were. They always try to make them better than they ever were. They try to help them that they couldn't exceed. They try to make their son become better than them and to do way more of what he did.
I think that it's not really changing a lot. I feel like the veterans are really like teaching the younger ones to just do the same thing, but just try to do like those little things that they couldn't do when they were playing, so they could be better than them and be more successful, and just be a better player.
I can't talk about a young person here, so I'm going to talk old school. Like you said earlier, I'm old school. And I just want the players to play the sport like it was meant to be. And there's young, there's old, and there's the past. But if you look at it, they all play the same overall. And so my goal is just to teach the sport to be played right and to be fair. And with that becomes in society, as when they become adults, they will be better adults, I believe, more productive in society, because baseball teaches you a lot of things about society. And with that, that's why I love the sport, and I bring it to these guys. So if they don't proceed to be a professional, they can still go out into the world and be able to teach other young kids and or become productive in society.
Okay, we go just now, but the last one, and you just answer with one word. Who's your favorite player ever?
David Ortiz.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Nolan Ryan, old school.
Vinicio Castilla. Muy bien, peloteros, eso ha sido todo por el día de hoy. Esperemos les haya gustado el video. Si les gustó, no olviden comentar, compartir y suscribirse a nuestro canal. Hasta la próxima.
Adiós.